Dugras here with Dugras Reports. Welcome to another episode of Frugal Points, the series where I drive in my car and talk to you about the philosophical side of points and miles. Today I'm going to be talking about a topic that I run into pretty frequently, and that is this. A lot of bloggers and content creators in the points and miles space will say things like, a particular point currency is not worth using unless I can get a certain benchmark value out of it. And in this video, I'm going to talk about why I partially disagree with that. Before I dive in, though, on this particular YouTube channel, I talk about finding epic value, including, but not limited to, credit card rewards, travel, points, and miles. If that sounds interesting to you, please subscribe to the channel, and please click the thumbs up button. Let's dive in. I will let you know that probably about half of the videos I record in my car I never actually publish because I feel like only the diehards of my subscribers are going to actually watch them. And I feel like if I can't get at least 100 views or so, it's probably not even worth doing. I have given some consideration to doing channel memberships, not because I want to make a bunch of money off it. I would do a low level, like $3 a month or something like that, but just because then I can put out member-only videos that are literally only for the members, so that they get to watch these super nerdy, like really philosophical things, and I don't have to expose it to the entire channel, which can actually hurt your channel growth if you slow down by publishing too many videos that don't get much traction. So if you have any thoughts on that, if you'd be interested in, joining the Dugras Die Hard Club or whatever you call it, for $3 a month or something similar to that, let me know. If you think it's a terrible idea, let me know. Whatever. I'm not even sure if I'm going to publish this video. We'll see. So, today's topic. The best way to describe what I mean by people declaring points aren't worth using unless I can get X value out of it is a recent example that I ran across. Now, it's actually an older article, but I saw an article on Infrequent Miler written by Nick Reyes from Infrequent Miler, and I really like them. They actually were the very first podcast I listened to and kind of helped me get into the points and miles journey. So this isn't meant to be criticism, just an alternate viewpoint, because I think what Nick says is true for him, but it's not true for me. The question was about Southwest Rapid Rewards and transferring your ultimate rewards to Southwest Rapid Rewards. Southwest points have functionally a fixed value of somewhere around 1.3 to 1.5 cents per point, depending on a few variables. Just for the sake of illustration, in this discussion and the article, they used the valuation of 1.3 cents per point. And one of Nick's conclusions was, I would never use my ultimate rewards and transfer them to Southwest because they only value at 1.3 cents per point, and I can do way better than that with something else, like a business class redemption on a foreign airline flying transatlantic, or on Hyatt or something like that. Now, what he said is true from a certain point of view, and from his point of view, it's almost certainly true. He doesn't have infinite points, and because his job is in the whole space of travel, he travels a lot more than the average Joe does. The key there was the scarcity of points, and the assumption that you don't have enough points to go around for every single piece of travel you want to do. And for the frequent miler folks, I imagine that's probably true, because I have occasionally heard them say things like, they just decided to pay cash for a hotel stay or a Vacasa stay because it was off-peak and it was relatively inexpensive, and if I'd used my points, it only would have been a value of like half a cent per point, and that wasn't very good. So, with that in mind, let me tell it to you. Let me tell you how I see this from a different point of view. Saying that I would never use my points unless they achieve some arbitrary benchmark, let's just say 2 cents per point for the sake of ease, only makes sense if you have finite points. And I think in my case, I have infinite points. And I know that sounds a little funny, but let me give some delimiters here, or some description of that. So, as you know, this is the channel for the average American who likes to travel, emphasis on average. I can't travel often, just life limits it. My wife is a teacher, so if we're doing family travel, I can only travel during breaks. She can't just randomly take 3 weeks off in April. I can't fly to the Maldives in February. So I've got one really big trip, like an overseas trip per year. I've got 2 solid, high-level, point-using RIP trips, and then I've probably got 2 to 3 other one-off trips. Maybe just a 2-day trip, go to the Quad Cities and see my sister, for a day at Christmas and stay in a motel kind of thing. So I'm taking probably at most 6 trips per year. All but 1 are going to be domestic, and probably at most 3 of them involve flying on a plane. This year, unless something changes, that's exactly what it's going to be. Pensacola, summer vacation to England, Sweden, and the Vegas meetup. 3 times flying in the entire year. And then later this fall, my boys and I are doing a boys' weekend in Wisconsin, but that's close enough. We're driving. So I'm not traveling that much. My rate of accruing points has now reached the threshold where, I'm pretty sure this is true, accruals are exceeding redemptions. So if I keep my rate of travel the same, I will never run out of points. I have unlimited points. Like Emperor Palpatine. Unlimited points! Now, obviously, if I blew them with terrible redemptions, they wouldn't be unlimited. But they're not going to run out based on how I do things now. In fact, I have been looking at ways to not increase the length of vacations, but increase the swankiness of vacations. So, don't stay at a relative's house, even if that's an option. Stay at a motel because I've got these points and I haven't used them. They're just sitting there. So that can mean I have some less than ideal redemptions. Now, there is a floor value, and that floor value for points is whatever the cash value is that I can easily and literally cash out at without going through a whole bunch of shenanigans. So for almost every currency, that's a penny per point right now for me. Chase Ultimate Rewards can be cashed out for a penny each. Citigroup can be cashed out for a penny each. Capital One has the travel eraser, so I can just buy travel, push a button, and it gives you the 1 penny per point rate. Even American Express, right now I have the business checking account, business platinum card combo, so I can cash those out at 1 cent per point just by clicking a button. So it wouldn't make sense for me to use a transferable currency if the point value is less than a penny per point. But really, that's my floor. When I flew to Las Vegas, the first weekend of September for the Creator Meetup, I used Southwest, and I used some points that were transferred over. Now, I think about half of it was flight credits that I had, but about half of it was with points. I might have booked you know, like the flights going there with points and the flights coming back with flight credits, something like that. But anyway, you know, it was, I think I calculated around the neighborhood of 1.5 cents per point, and I was fine with that. It was the flight that worked best for me. Now, I could say something about Southwest and how I'm not really planning to use them in the future, but when it's the flight you need at the time you need, and you live in a small market airport like Des Moines, Iowa, you take what you can get. I like some things about Southwest. I strongly dislike other things about Southwest, so we'll see. That's a whole nother video for another time. But I didn't hold back on transferring my Chase points to Southwest because, oh, well, Doug, you might be able to use those same points on British Airways at, like, you know, 4 cents per point in the future. So what am I supposed to do? Just dip into my family budget and buy the Southwest ticket out of pocket? No. And I'm not going to cash out my points because the value I got was above 1 cent per point, even if it was 1.5. So I'm in a position right now where I have enough points that it would be kind of dumb to pay cash unless the rate was so cheap on whatever it is. I don't care if it's a plane, motel, or rental car. If the rate is so cheap that it would be less than a value of 1 cent per point, anything equal to or above 1 cent per point, I should use points. So for me, right now, I'm never going to say the value of these points isn't good enough to use for a given redemption. As it relates to, like, running out of points, right now I'm about to start my October through December challenge, quarter million points in the fourth quarter, and probably the very first thing I'm going to do is have my wife sign up for the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card, which currently has a 90,000 point sign-up bonus, no annual fee, and I'll get some sort of referral bonus. I don't know what it is, but at least something. So more than 90,000 points. You know, last weekend I did a video about using Hyatt points for Hyatt Regency that was 8,000 points. I didn't transfer points in because they were left over from a canceled booking, but let's just say I had, you know, and it wasn't a tremendous value. It was like 2 cents per point. But why wouldn't I use those points? That's double the cash out value at Chase. And if I'm all concerned about using 8,000 points, but my wife is about to get 90,000 points that she can transfer over to my account, it's easier to earn than it is to redeem for me right now based on the situation in life that I'm in. Hopefully, there will be a day in the future where, you know, I don't know, maybe something changes and I'm self-employed and my YouTube channel plus 2 or 3 or 4 other things makes a full-time living, but that seems kind of far off right now if it'll ever happen, and then it might change. So I think for Nick, his rule is, boy, I sure wouldn't want to use Southwest points for less than 1.3, is different than my rule of, well, it's either that or cash out at 1 cent. Again, I want to put down a full disclaimer. I really love Frequent Miler. This isn't meant to disparage them. I think in a multiplicity of opinions, there's great value. So figure out which ideology fits you best and roll with that. So let me know, are you more like me, where you feel like you have infinite points, or are you more like someone else where you feel like you have finite points, so you need to make sure you get X pennies per point every time you use them? Thank you for watching, and those of you that have subscribed to my channel, I really appreciate it. If you've not subscribed, I would appreciate if you do that now. And as always, may your spending be frugal, and may your points be plenteous.